Scientists once thought the human body could only keep its strength until a certain age, but here's the surprising truth. Even past 100, your muscles, bones, and energy can still grow stronger if you give them the right fuel before bed. I know because I've lived it. My name is Dr. Hinohara, Japan's oldest practicing physician. For more than a century, I've dedicated my life to unlocking the secrets of longevity. And today I'll share one simple evening habit that helps me wake up strong, clear-minded, and full of vitality every single day. When most people think about turning 100, they imagine frailty, wheelchairs, and dependence. But let me tell you something extraordinary. Your body never actually loses the ability to repair and rebuild. What changes with age is how efficiently it does the work. Every night while you sleep, your muscles are in a silent tug of war. Either they're building themselves up or they're breaking themselves down. And after 60, the breakdown side starts to win, unless you know how to flip the switch. This is why bedtime is the most critical moment of the day. During sleep, the body releases growth hormone, restores tissues, and recalibrates energy systems. Yet for many seniors, the raw materials needed for repair are missing. That's why they wake up stiff, weak, or more tired than the night before. It's not just aging, it's a shortage of what science calls slow-release nutrition. Researchers at Maastricht University in the Netherlands discovered something remarkable. They gave older adults a specific type of protein right before sleep, and the result was continuous muscle building all through the night. Instead of wasting away in a state called overnight catabolism, their bodies stayed in growth mode. Imagine that, muscles growing stronger while you dream. And here's the best part. This habit doesn't require pills, expensive supplements, or even hours at the gym. It's food-based, safe, and proven to work even for people in their 80s and 90s. My own experience as a physician and as a man who has lived more than a century confirms it. When you feed your body correctly before bed, you don't just sleep better, you wake up with more strength, more clarity, and more independence. This is why I can stand tall and strong beyond 100. It's not luck, it's not genetics. It's because I never let my muscles go hungry at night. And in just a moment, I'll reveal exactly what I do before bed and how you can bring the same vitality into your own life. So what is this one thing I do before bed that keeps me strong after a century of living? It's simple, almost too simple, which is why so many people overlook it. Before I close my eyes each night, I give my body a slow, steady supply of protein that lasts until morning, not the quick digesting kind you get from eggs or meat at dinner. I'm talking about casein-rich foods like cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, the kind of protein that drips amino acids into your muscles hour by hour while you sleep. Here's why it works. During sleep, your body is fasting. If you go to bed on an empty stomach, your muscles don't have enough building blocks. They begin cannibalizing themselves just to keep your body fueled. Scientists call this overnight catabolism, and it accelerates muscle loss with age. But when Dutch researchers gave seniors casein protein before bed, they saw the exact opposite. Muscle protein synthesis actually increased. Their bodies were rebuilding instead of breaking down. The benefits don't stop at muscle. Casein proteins are also packed with bioactive peptides that lower blood pressure and improve sleep quality. Better sleep triggers more growth hormone release, which then drives deeper recovery. It's a perfect cycle. Feed your muscles, sleep more soundly, and wake up stronger than the day before. And here's something that often surprises my patients. These foods aren't just for bodybuilders. Cottage cheese provides selenium to restore muscle strength, calcium for powerful contractions, and vitamin B12 to help your body actually use the protein you eat. These are deficiencies that affect more than half of older adults, and correcting them can transform how you move, how you feel, and how quickly you recover. When I tell people that I eat a small bowl of cottage cheese mixed with nuts or fruit before bed, they laugh. It sounds too easy. But then they try it, and within weeks, the stiffness fades, the mornings feel lighter, and the energy that seemed gone for good starts to return. This is not a miracle, it's biology. Biology that still works beautifully at 70, 80, or even 100 years old if you know how to use it. The true beauty of this simple evening ritual is how far its benefits reach. Stronger muscles are only the beginning. Think about your balance, your posture, even your ability to get out of a chair without effort. All of these depend on steady muscle repair through the night. When your body has what it needs before bed, the morning doesn't feel like a battle. It feels like renewal. In one study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, seniors who consumed protein before sleep didn't just build muscle, they improved their mobility scores within weeks. That means fewer falls, more confidence with each step, and greater independence. Because let's face it, independence is what aging gracefully is really about. You don't want to wait for someone to steady your hand or push your wheelchair. You want to move freely, live fully, and stay sharp in mind and body. And here's something fascinating. When your muscles are supported at night, your brain benefits too. Why? Because better sleep leads to higher release of growth hormone and a more balanced circadian rhythm. Growth hormone doesn't just repair muscles, it plays a critical role in memory consolidation and brain plasticity. That's why many of my patients who adopt this nighttime routine report not only feeling stronger, but also clearer, more focused, and less foggy in the mornings. It also affects energy. Seniors often complain that fatigue strikes early in the day, no matter how much rest they get. But fatigue isn't always about sleep quantity, it's about sleep quality. Casein-rich foods before bed slow digestion, prevent nighttime dips in blood sugar, and reduce micro-awakenings caused by hunger. The result is deeper, more restorative sleep and steadier energy the next day. And don't overlook the emotional impact. When stiffness fades, when mornings feel lighter, when you can stand up with ease, your mood changes. You stop seeing age as decline and start seeing it as opportunity. My patients tell me this small habit gives them something no supplement ever could: confidence. Confidence that tomorrow will be better than today. Confidence that strength can return even after years of believing it was lost. This is why I call it my secret to staying strong past 100. It's not a trick or a fad, it's a simple act of giving your body what it needs at the time it needs it most. And in the next section, I'll show you exactly how to make this ritual practical, delicious, and sustainable in your own life. So, how do you actually put this into practice? The good news is it doesn't require complicated recipes or expensive supplements. It's about choosing foods that are rich in slow digesting protein and pairing them with ingredients that amplify their power. For me, it starts with a small bowl of cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is almost pure casein, the protein that digests slowly and delivers amino acids hour by hour through the night. Just 1 cup provides enough to keep muscles fed until morning. But here's the secret: don't eat it plain. Combine it with the right additions and you create a powerful recovery meal disguised as dessert. A handful of crushed walnuts adds arginine, an amino acid that opens up blood vessels and improves circulation. That means more nutrients delivered to your muscles while you sleep. A spoonful of ground flax or chia brings omega-3 fatty acids, which calm inflammation that blocks muscle repair. A drizzle of raw honey not only improves flavor, but also contains enzymes that enhance protein digestion and feed beneficial gut bacteria. Together, these small touches turn a simple bowl into a therapeutic ritual. Not a fan of cottage cheese? Greek yogurt works beautifully too. It has both whey and casein protein, so you get an immediate boost plus a steady release through the night. Add berries for antioxidants to protect muscles from oxidative stress, or sprinkle a little cinnamon to improve insulin sensitivity. These aren't just flavor upgrades, they're science-backed tweaks that make every bite more effective. The key is consistency, not perfection. You don't need to eat the same thing every night. Rotate between cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or even a homemade casein smoothie with almond butter and a splash of vanilla. What matters is that your muscles never go to sleep hungry. And here's something patients often notice: within 2 to 3 weeks of adopting this ritual, mornings feel different. Instead of dragging themselves out of bed, they wake up with less stiffness, more strength, and a surprising sense of energy. That's because their muscles spent the night building instead of breaking down. This ritual is simple, affordable, and practical for anyone, whether you're in your 60s, 80s, or beyond 100 like me. And in the next section, I'll explain how even the most frail seniors, those starting from what feels like zero strength, can use this bedtime strategy to rebuild from the ground up. Many seniors tell me, "Doctor, I'm too weak for this to help. I can barely get out of a chair." My time has passed, but I've seen again and again that this is exactly the stage when the bedtime ritual works its quiet magic. Even the frailest bodies can rebuild when given the right support at the right time. Think of your muscles like a bank account. Frailty doesn't mean the account is closed. It simply means the balance is low. Each night of slow release protein before bed is like making a deposit. At first, the changes are subtle. You may not see new muscle in the mirror right away, but within a week, many notice they're less sore in the morning or that their hands feel steadier when holding a cup of tea. That's your body beginning to restore itself. The science supports this. A study from Maastricht University tested casein supplementation in elderly men and women who had already lost significant muscle. Even at their weakest, these individuals showed measurable increases in muscle protein synthesis overnight. In plain terms, their bodies, despite years of decline, still responded and began rebuilding. And when you combine this with even light activity during the day, simple chair exercises, short walks, or resistance bands, the gains multiply. The protein you ate at night becomes new strength by day. I recall one patient, an 87-year-old woman who came to me after several falls. She was afraid to walk outside alone. We started her on the same ritual I use: cottage cheese with a spoonful of almond butter before bed. Within 3 weeks, she told me her mornings felt different. She could rise from her chair without pulling on the armrests. 2 months later, she was back to tending her garden. It wasn't a miracle, it was her body finally given the tools it had been missing. This is why frailty is not the end of the story. Muscles don't care about your age, they care about your nutrition and movement. Even starting from zero, the cycle of breakdown can be reversed. And when that reversal begins, confidence grows, independence returns, and life feels possible again. In the next section, I'll show you how to expand this ritual into a full body recovery system, supporting not just muscles, but mood, digestion, and even sleep itself. When I speak about this bedtime ritual, many people think it's only about muscles, but the truth is it transforms your entire body. Muscles are just the beginning. The nutrients you take in before bed ripple through every system, setting the stage for a healthier tomorrow. Let's start with mood. Seniors often struggle with restless nights and anxious mornings. Casein proteins, especially from cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, contain bioactive peptides that act almost like natural calming agents. These peptides lower blood pressure, ease tension, and improve the quality of deep sleep. Deeper sleep means higher release of growth hormone, which doesn't just build muscle, it stabilizes mood. That's why so many of my patients report not just waking up stronger, but also happier, clearer, and more emotionally resilient. Now consider digestion. Many older adults live with reduced stomach acid, bloating, or poor absorption. That's why choosing foods like Greek yogurt makes such a difference. The probiotics in yogurt don't just soothe the gut, they increase nutrient absorption, ensuring the protein, vitamins, and minerals you eat actually reach your cells. Better digestion means less inflammation, more efficient energy use, and fewer of those frustrating stomach upsets that rob seniors of vitality. Sleep itself is transformed. When you provide a slow drip of amino acids, your body avoids the blood sugar dips that trigger nighttime awakenings. You sleep deeper and wake up more refreshed. Researchers have shown that seniors who eat a small portion of casein protein before bed not only preserve muscle, but also report improved sleep efficiency, meaning they spend more of the night in restorative phases instead of tossing and turning. But perhaps the most exciting part is how this ritual interacts with daily life. Imagine eating a small bowl of cottage cheese with walnuts and berries at night, then going for a light walk the next morning. The nutrients you stored overnight are still in circulation, ready to repair and strengthen the muscles you used during that walk. It's a 24-hour loop. Nourishment at night, movement by day, recovery while you sleep again. Each cycle builds on the last, creating steady improvement you can feel week by week. This is why I don't call it a trick or a hack. It's a system, a simple nightly choice that nourishes muscles, balances mood, strengthens digestion, and restores sleep. And in the next section, we'll see how this system empowers even those in their 90s and beyond to keep adding strength year after year. The real magic of this ritual isn't just what happens tomorrow morning, it's what happens month after month, year after year. Think about this. Most seniors lose 1% of their muscle mass every year after the age of 60. That may not sound like much, but over a decade, it can mean the difference between walking confidently and needing a cane. Yet studies show that with the right evening nutrition, that decline can not only be stopped, it can be reversed. This is why, even after more than a century of living, I still walk tall, work daily, and feel strength in my body. It isn't because I escaped aging, it's because I fed my body in a way that slowed the clock. When you build muscle overnight, protect your bones with calcium-rich foods and fuel your brain with deeper sleep. You're not just adding days to your life, you're adding life to your days. And the benefits compound. Each week of better sleep makes your memory sharper. Each month of stronger muscles reduces your risk of falls. Each year of consistency adds layers of independence, mobility, and energy that most people assume are gone forever. Imagine being in your 80s and still gardening, cooking, or playing with grandchildren, not cautiously, but with ease. That is the payoff of one small ritual repeated night after night. It's also protective against the illnesses that scare so many seniors. Stronger muscles mean better blood sugar control, lowering the risk of diabetes. Better sleep lowers inflammation, which is tied to heart disease and dementia. Improved digestion through probiotic-rich foods strengthens immunity. All of this from a simple habit before bed. And perhaps the most overlooked benefit is confidence. When you wake up feeling strong, when your balance holds steady, when your mornings no longer bring stiffness and fear, you begin to believe in your body again. That belief alone fuels motivation, and motivation keeps the cycle alive. So don't think of this ritual as a short-term experiment. Think of it as a lifelong companion. The small bowl before bed is not just food. It's your insurance policy for strength, independence, and vitality well into your 90s, and yes, even beyond 100. In the final section, I'll leave you with one powerful truth. The reason this habit works for me, and the reason it can work for you starting tonight. Here's the truth I've learned after more than a century of practicing medicine and living this ritual myself. Age is not the enemy. Neglect is. Your body, even now, has the ability to grow stronger, sharper, and more alive if you give it the chance. Every night you go to bed without this habit, your muscles lose ground you may never get back. But every night you choose to nourish them, you rewrite the story of aging. The real question isn't whether this works. I've shown you the science, I've lived the results. The real question is what happens when you combine this nighttime ritual with the one food that scientists now say can actually reverse age-related weakness at the cellular level. That's the discovery I'll share next, and it may be the missing piece that takes you from surviving each day to thriving for decades more.